And you were there. And you, and you, and you. A dream play in 3 short acts by Samantha Corbin. Act 1. Setting, a dream. The monster is chasing Lucy across the front of the stage. The two are on a moving conveyor belt, so neither is actually traveling as they run.
It's been a while. The dream stays just the same. So here I run, pursued by some strange beast, the origin of whom is unbeknownst, eliciting from me familiar fear that he might well devour me whole if I should slow my pace or stop to catch my breath. Do not mistake me for some ignorant child who shies withal from such nightmare scenes and later shirks them as some Rorschach stain on otherwise fair psychology. I'm well aware of reveries intent and its potential for the full disclosure of things that lurk beneath, inside, behind, the rocky faults that cut this snow-capped mind into such cold terrain. But I digress. I'll run until I can't run anymore, and as per usual, wait a tick before the catch.
The monster gains ground. She begins to tire, and as he comes closer, she screams half-heartedly and winces. The monster stops, looks pityingly on her, and walks away. Lucy opens her eyes and sees the bare space.
That's a start. I'm still alive. But my surroundings still suggest a dream. Most often, I come to in a cold sweat and call out for some non-existent ward, instead receiving service from my cat, whose slow arrival I can scarcely bear. He hoists himself onto the bed and paws in vain to tame my matted hair, and anxious to know the cause of this night's terror. No more. To the point, am I asleep? If so, then why do I remain unscathed? The monster surely gained the greater ground. In seconds would have swallowed up my life, digesting family ties, rib-sticking passions. Could this then mean that No. It's alchemy that makes us manufacture false hope, whose luster lures its victim close, then sheds its costume.
Sandman enters with a butterfly net.
Are you my next oppressor?
Not in the least, unless I've been assigned.
What's with the net?
Oh, just in case.
In case of what?
Of butterflies.
Ah, good. Curious. A monster. And a man. I'm prone to chasing butterflies, no less. I wonder if this means I have more time. That there has been a change in urgency.
In urgency of what?
Oh, never mind.
You designated me your next oppressor. Did I just misperform?
Hi, dear. It was a most unusual appearance, made strange when disappeared so soon after. That is to say, he usually arrives, but I'm not off to witness a departure. That is to say, well, anyway, he's gone.
That's pleasant news. I shudder to imagine that there should be a killer around these nooks. I thought I was the only errant here. But here you are, I hope, unscathed.
In some ways, yes.
Are you hurt?
Others? No, I'm fine.
No scratches? No afflictions? No diseases?
The afflictions that I suffer from are few, save for my summer allergies, that is. And over time I learned immunity was one of those romantic things in dreams. I'd scoop up ferns and daisies, hug them close, and nuzzle each with intimate affection, undaunted by the tickle of their spores. Of course, my lack of allergies was not the only thing that kept me coming back. I must keep listening. These subconscious lectures have weight beyond the scale they represent.
You speak about your dreams as visitations, to places one may freely come and go. So what about that monster chasing you? As far as I can think, it sounds unpleasant. Why keep returning to this very dream?
Well, the chase? No, let me speak with frankness. See, I believe this realm holds something big, a key of sorts to understanding life, or death, perhaps. For here the limits of the waking world do not apply. For instance...
She thinks for a moment and then reaches into her pocket and pulls out a handful of gold coins, which she spills onto the ground.
There. Even Uncle Pennybags would gawk at such a feat.
Well, certainly, but still, that seems to hit the nail right on the head. If you could manufacture fantasies, why choose the one that causes such distress? Why not instead lie sunning on some beach, surrounded by those fanning palms, fed grapes?
Things in my control are small desires, but other things have more significance. They're deeper symbols, have much more to say, and to those images I must submit with unconcerned obedience.
So this chase, what does it mean to you, imagine?
Oh. Yes, that's the conscious part of this dream work. I've never had a dream this many times, and now remain asleep
What do you mean?
Given the choice, what do you dream about?
I don't think that I tend to choose them, though. I can't recall the last one that I had. And come to think of it, I can't recall the last time that I slept.
That's curious. Do you feel tired?
No, I feel quite alert. It strikes me that you are the only one I've seen in quite a while.
Are you sleeping?
If I am, I certainly don't know. How long it's been since I first fell asleep.
But I am dreaming. Proved by that last chase, I know this limbo well. But you are new to my subconscious.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
I'm Lucy.
Lucy extends her hand. Sandman does nothing.
Hi.
And you are?
Pleased to meet you.
Well, that doesn't seem so fair. I showed you mine. It's only fair that you showed me yours.
Think I've missed the memo. Show you what?
That part's a joke. I mean, tell me your name.
What's in a name?
Now you're the funny man.
I'm being quite sincere. I'm just confused. Because I can't remember what my name is.
Oh.
But if I know what's in a name, perhaps I'll just recraft one from the recipe.
No, names are mostly passed to next of kin through generations of a family. Now, do you have a family?
My memory suggests I've been alone. Look, could we maybe talk of something else? I understand these questions are almost pressing because you haven't gleaned yet who I am. But now I'm in an existential crisis, a thing I didn't think to have today.
Lights dim, soliloquy floodlight up on Sandman.
God's sakes, what's the date? What time is it? And why so suddenly must I know now? These new obsessions have not hitherto paid patronage to my psychology. The strange encounter with the pretty girl, no more than girl, and more than pretty too, awakens in me new pangs of desire, not only for the taste of human touch, but also for the answers to those mysteries that hitherto I had forgot existed. Though I do trust the power of my faith, and do not fear that higher power sits someplace above my head, I still do feel that should I seek truth further, I'll uncover an offered answer I cannot endure. So yes, I wander blindly in the dark, to some extent, but only for the sake of mindfulness or ignorance. What use are all those fears which man brings on himself? It's vanity that leads us to seek out that which those higher powers tuck away. We feel somehow deserving of some sense, a cosmic revelation. No, not I. I do not make hubristic inquisitions into the nature of my purpose here. Despite my long tirade, I am of flesh. I feel, if nothing else, carnality. As much as I feign disillusionment, I'm not impervious to loneliness. And time is not so kind, it makes some haste. And soon the comfort of philosophy begins to itch like wool upon the skin, upon the eyes over which it's being pulled. In truth, my greatest fear is that I'm right. That life's great tragedy is just that's all. I hope this wayward traveler proves me wrong.
Lights return to normal.
I didn't mean to put you in distress. I have an active curiosity.
Don't worry.
So, how do you like it here?
Sandman looks put off.
Just making an attempt at conversation. I'm really terrible at this.
Oh no, you're not. In fact, it's rather charming.
In that case, I admit I want to know how you get on alone in this huge place.
I walk. I walk a lot. Sometimes I run.
But never been pursued by any bees.
Not that I can recall.
It's just as well I know that room's been set aside for me.
I know you think I can't hear what you're saying, but since there's never-ending space to spare, this closeness echoes more than you perceive.
Look, no offense, but you just met. Aside from listening in on my hushed tone just now, you haven't earned my confidence just yet.
Do I give you cause for caution? Are you suspicious of my good intent? Consider that until this point today, I've sojourned here with no one but my thoughts. Forgive me if I seem attentive, ma'am. You wish that I should try neglect instead.
You think I'm...
I think you're paranoid. How's courtesy as a food for thought?
too sweet.
I sense you like the tangy sour grapes.
You said you found me charming.
That was then.
Well, what else are we supposed to do?
Well, silence works.
Well, fine. If that's the way you feel, goodbye.
They go to opposite corners of the stage and stoop for a long time. Sandman smiles broadly and looks up.
Oh, I give up. I'm sorry.
Back so soon?
Silence was too deafening to bear.
I've gotten used to it, and even I was hoping you would speak. This time it was a different kind of silence. Much more lonely.
It must be nice to have your time alone.
Not when it's all you know.
Well, now it's not.
They both laugh.
That was a curious thing you did that.
My net for butterflies, yes, it's odd. You see, it's...
No, before. You say just now. When we were fighting and we stood apart. If this locality is infinite, you might have found a faraway escape. Instead, you stood just yards away. How's that?
I guess I figured you concede quite quickly.
And what should give you cause for such conceit?
When one knows quietness as well as I, one also comes to understand how loud it is. You said so yourself. You called the silence deafening.
Oh, yes.
But more than decibel ascendancy is volume of the mind, when nothing's there to hush it up. It runs amok, and all the things you hoped you wouldn't think today can bud the queue and gather at the front.
Front. Yes, that's exactly how I feel. My mind's the battlefield, and thoughts, militia, all fighting for cause they don't believe in. And every day is a reward for what to think, when there's no guarantee that it will help.
And you say I'm poetic.
Well, you are. I guess we can divide the quality between us.
Ah, the olive branch. But honestly, I do like the idea of owning something shared in part with you.
What's that?
For starters, I've never had to share. I think I like the concept of it. Two people joined by some external force.
It could be just as innocent as this.
Lucy offers her hand.
What's this?
You're not that oblivious.
I know that it's her hand. What do I do?
From what you know of what it means to share, just take what you see and go from there.
Sandman thinks for a moment and then steps forward. He puts his hand on top of hers.
That's very good.
What are we sharing?
Almost.
She grasps his hand more firmly. He flinches but does not take it away. She turns it vertically and shakes it.
And now we share a handshake.
Obviously.
Now don't get overconfident, I'll mock.
Hey, it's not nice to tease.
Well then, instead, I'll make an ass of myself too, and so that way we can share theirs.
Throughout this next exchange, the two move steadily closer to one another.
What else can people share?
Their thoughts.
Their dreams?
Do you think that's what's happening now?
Perhaps. And people too share secrets.
Huh. Nice try.
Okay, but I get points for trying.
Noted.
By now, Lucy and Sandman have reached the point to where they are standing inches away from one another.
It strikes me that this sharing business is quite intimate when you consider it.
Well, certainly. Inherent in the word is an assumption more than one's involved.
It's interesting.
What?
It's really odd.
What is?
Despite my lack of common sense about the mores of the waking life, my instinct's telling me I should do this.
He kisses her. She is only slightly shocked but does not pull away.
And your response suggests I should do this.
He kisses her again. It is longer and more aggressive. He stops for a moment and they stand in silence. He grows wildly confident in this newfound ability to interpret her.
Your silence tells me I should try this now.
They kiss passionately again, and for a moment things begin to escalate, but then Lucy pulls away.
I acquiesce for reasons of my own. Do not assume that silence, once a burden, should in this case speak louder than my words. Though in my dreams I often forfeit sense in favor of my primitive desires, this intimacy feels forced and out of place. Or would I mean perhaps much too well placed?
The richness of the moment need not be dissected. Let's enjoy it as it is.
He moves in for the kiss. She pulls away.
But that's just it. It seems all too complete, all too foreshadowed in expediency. Are we to fornicate or reproduce just for the simple fact that we're alone? So aptly branded stopped Adam and Eve to justify all man's descent from grace?
Why do you do that?
Why do I do what?
Endeavor to assign symbolic truth to circumstances of your own design. Reduce to viewing intercourse as tainted by what you know of how the world has turned until today. Let go and let it be.
A senile man's last word.
What is your fear? Conformity? Adherence to a school of thought because you know it brings success to others? You claim to search for meaning in your dreams, and yet it seems to me quite the opposite. You dread any consensus of a group, contented only with an explanation that will apply to you and only you.
You temper meaning to a group's decree. If popular, then telling it must be.
How else might one survive?
Alone, in fact. If you're so sure of your supremacy, why then might I ask do you need me?
Because without you here, I don't exist. I think, therefore, I am not telling truth. What gets lost in translation is the fact that senses input can deceive us too. Our dreams best demonstrate the sleight of hand. The synesthesia of the daily grind, confusing what was seen and what was heard. So verbal confrontations have their taste, and music has its own tactile terrain.
Yes.
Yes?
Just so. Your senses can deceive. So who's to say I'm what you see as? Or pressing them potential fraudulence of senses into the dream is, well, the dream. The dreamer manufactures in his mind whatever he might aspire to be true. Why then, having a mosquito is a king.
Don't be so preposterous.
Not so at all.
Since when do insects dream?
Hey, easy there. Big man of faith. We not all God's children. No pesky penny to deny alone.
Or die alone. My argument's for love, not for the dreamer.
And mine for love of dreams.
Stalemate then.
The battle's not yet ended. I'll be back.
I know.
He moves in again to kiss her.
No, wait. We have yet to address the matter of this preconceived embrace. Not only as a cultural recital, but to implied as symbol of sleep.
But Lucy, why do things have implications? Why can't they stand alone?
What do you mean?
Perhaps it's better to take note in stride, instead of taking notes on happenstance.
I guess the thought did not occur.
Exactly. Have you considered things just might occur? That some events have no significance. We are not slaves to fate, but master builders, whose architecture is cause and effect. We are responsible for all of our actions, which are then in turn judged on Judgment Day.
You speak of judgment. All this talk of faith. Do you imagine there's a God of sorts? If so, your core beliefs are based in worship, so how then claim to be in such control of any choice, or of your destiny?
The presence of some higher power, though, does not preclude an absence of free will. Conversely, I might ask, if you've no faith, what gives you purpose in your free domain? On whose authority, if not God's, can you attempt to justify existence as more than just some senseless accident? Your search for meaning won't yield any fruit unless your findings have some cosmic truth.
My faith is in my dreams, and there's a meaning.
Losing steam.
What are we even arguing about?
Trying something else.
Do you think life has purpose?
I don't know, but unlike you, I'm living like it might, delighting in the present for the present. What's so important that you aren't content to wait for keys to life's great mystery? Why must you seek them when even the door is still in nascent state?
Because I have no choice. No, not like that, without revealing things that would surely take your admiration. Well, let's just say I'm at a kind of crossroads, a turning point of my waking life that makes it quite essential I find out what all my dreams have meant up to this point.
Do you mind if I ask the details of these crossroads?
I think I've gone comatose. Result of some incurable disease whose name is not worth looking up online. The sad thing is, they say it takes years for any of the symptoms to appear. Essentially, since birth, more than die.
Lucy begins to cry. Sandman attempts to comfort her.
But aren't we all?
Yes. I've been bedridden since the month of May. It's coming on December. Roots get cold. Which makes for a most strange dichotomy, for as the brain is jellied, it is frozen and cannot function as it's known to do. The danger with susceptibility to change in temperature is that in time, the brain just spongifies, sleeps in it. Most cases, the brain doesn't.
And how does one contract this malady?
Consuming meat contaminated with the animal equivalent to
Cannibals disease?
something like that.
Have you tried waking up?
Not yet.
But why?
If I don't wake, I know it's come to this. A coma that eventually ends in death. The experts have been trying to at least find treatment since it's most incurable, without success as far as I can tell. But I've been such a vegetable, perhaps I missed a breakthrough or discovery. Once I go comatose, though, there's no hope.
How would you wake?
Sneeze is all it takes. I spoke before of dandelion weeds, but first I thought I ought to be allergic. I forced upon myself a playful sneeze. At once, I found myself awake in bed. And now olfactory ejaculation is my one lifeline to my waking state. If I should sneeze but not wake up, it means then who knows what's what. Now it's my turn to ask what you wish something. Like these growling matters of the gravely traded in for common levity.
So you've got beef with death, and you'd prefer the two of us not meet before you've had the chance to feel your life has been lived out.
A little morbid for my taste, but at this point I'll take
there? Look, I don't mean to sound like but is there anything I can do?
There is. Until I can determine whether I should start allotting parts of my estate to future generations. The ones I don't yet have. Until that comes to light, I'd like it if you supplemented me with your companionship.
I'll raise you one. I'll make this world of sleep the better one. So the alternative begins to pale. In its comparison to this mad world, if waking life is built on small desires, it won't be hard to sway this life our way. The trappings of your greatest fantasies can now come swiftly to fruition, so we'll dine like kings on all the meat you want. For as you said, here there's immunity to all mysterious diseases, Lucy. Would that be something you could learn to love? Would I be someone you could learn to love?
That tale of man and woman, last summer, and whether they should mate for circumstance. I'm happy with you as you are, sir.
The truth is that I need you too, dear Lucy.
Don't call me dear, you make me feel so old.
That's funny since you make me feel so young.
You're not yet old enough to use that line.
What lines am I reduced to at this age?
Hey, maybe once you'll place in mind.
I'd like to think I've long outgrown the first.
Essentially the same in different words or different gestures. All young chauvinists make use of similar tactics, but the thing is that we somehow just keep falling for it. Try something else.
Okay, then I go.
Sandman turns away from her. When he turns back, he has a tulip in hand.
My lady friend, if I may be so bold to call you that.
I see you did your homework. Tulips, red. A declaration of intent to love.
Please hold all your comments till I court you fairly. Now, lady friend, I ask, your dream or mine?
If I can see the answer is clearer than yours. Excuse me. Mother's calling me inside.
Now, wait a minute.
I must go for dinner.
And if I were to ask you out to dine?
I should consider your request.
Please do.
And acquiesce.
Will mother mind?
She's dead.
That
Laughing.
doesn't fit with what you said earlier.
I'm sorry.
Suddenly sobered by her sincerity.
No, I'm sorry for your loss. Is she really dead?
Yes, years ago. No, my illness cannot be passed down. She stepped out on the ice one winter December, imagining she would cross her knees. But then her dying feet created heat, and just as she was reaching past the halfway point, the ice cracked. She slid in instead. She was so graceful. I imagine her just sliding effortlessly down on point of ballerina stepping into place. She lost her place beneath the surface and could not tap through still frozen parts of it. Her fingers likely lost their hold of tap and made the choice instead to hibernate, for when they found her, they were each curled up in various positions also. No, it's all right. I'm not upset. I thought you'd like to know the details, though, as far as intimate relations. You're to be my suitor. You had best not underestimate the power of my father to take on both parental roles at once. Now you're the one who's walking on thin ice. Don't blow it.
One more word before it's dropped. The issue of your mother's death, I mean. It makes me curious, if you desire to have her in your arms, why not in here? If we're to make this life superior to one you fear you're soon to leave behind, why not implant the things you've already lost back there in here and live as you deserve?
That desire to provide is much too great to be left in my auspices. I've never nor will ever see her. Not with the ice and ballerinas find their way into my sleeping country.
December seems a month for sad events.
My birthday's on the 23rd.
Ah, then, not altogether sad.
Well, I do hope that I don't prove your thesis perfect by ending my life the day that it began. Hey, do you have one?
What?
A birthday?
No. Or if I do, I've long forgot the day. And more than that, I've no sense of my age. There's not much cause for celebration here. That is until you showed up at my door.
You have a door? That's new. I want to see.
I'm speaking metaphorically, of course.
Knock, knock, knocking on Sandman's door.
Did you say Sandman?
Yes, it's your new name. I'm speaking metaphorically, of course. The Sandman is a figure in our folklore, a navigator of all things and dreams, controlling what we see in our mind's eye, an accolade for that small crust that brings our tired lids upon the rooster's call.
And how does that pertain to me?
Like this. I'm dreaming, right? And here you are with me.
But not manipulating me, my home.
No, but at least you've navigated me all through this sleep. Without you, I'd be lost and still standing in the emptiness that happened upon me when the monster disappeared. You've kept me entertained. And in return, I'd like to do the same for you.
Oh, Lucy, don't fret. Your presence is enough for me.
Just let me.
Fine. What did you have in mind?
You'll see. Prepare to be surprised.
It's rather contradictory in terms.
And so is dying young, but here I am. Now turn around and don't look till I'm done. It's a shame that's how surprises work around here. And plug your ears, I don't want you to hear.
The Sandman turns around. During this intermission between acts, the house lights come up, and the audience is welcome to talk. But Lucy is seen preparing the birthday party, not rushed. When she is done, the lights dim again. Act 2. Setting the same place. A kitschy, elaborate birthday party setup. Sandman is still waiting in a corner, eyes closed and ears plugged. Lucy is wearing one of those traditional pointy birthday hats. There's cake.
Okay, you can unplug your ears and look.
Sandman turns and sees the setup. He is happy and confused.
What's this?
It's your birthday party.
Oh.
Look at that.
So let me get this straight. We're celebrating my first day on Earth when I cannot remember when it was.
Well, when you put it that way, I made a cake and everything.
You did?
Okay, I pulled it from a wayward hat. But what do you expect? That's what you get when you instill a place with such sweet magic that I'm more prone to play the virgin chef, an icon of immaculate confection. Now, all the same, my dear, I did a say to make this day a day you can enjoy. And maybe just pretend. Remember that? Remember games we played when we first met?
I would not have simply stood and sung. The happy birthday song to me. Why all this spectacle? There's no one here to judge.
Back where I've come from, this is what we do. We put on silly hats and cut a cake.
I do appreciate the sentiment.
And now, appreciate this party hat.
She tries to put it on her.
Is this what people do as well?
What's that?
Force dress them up against their will?
What?
What will you with what will?
The free one. I'm simply thinking of situation and how the sick deprives me of my will.
To live?
No, not like that. Well, in a sense, I want to live, but not like this. In bed each day requiring strength I cannot muster, I'm circumscribed to life by life's decree. It's short and should not be taken for granted. Yet, the hand I have granted has been cruel. What will, I ask, should manifest from this? What am I fighting for? Love, I guess.
She looks at him and begins to sing.
So happy birthday to you, Mr. Sandman. We'll leave the guessing of the age to you. So happy birthday to you, Mr. Sandman. You're timeless anyway, and...
She stops herself abruptly.
That doesn't quite sound like the end. Most songs usually end the final phrase. That wasn't one she did.
Right. It's, you're timeless anyway, and that's just fine.
Oh. Yes. That's what I thought it ought to be. And that's just fine.
Lights change. Spotlight flies on Lucy.
It's not that I don't want to tell him, but those harmless little words can leave a stain that cannot be rubbed out, only with time. If I say here, we'll never be apart. As evidenced by that sham of surprise where distance was so basely manufactured by closing off the senses to the other, not by any actual move. So then, were I to tell him, it would mean no matter where we stood, the words would hang much like a banner of congratulations for some promotion in an office. No. But once you say it once, it is a chore. And you have to say it every time, appreciating moments ever smaller until it punctuates your every line. And should I ever wish to then retract the words, it will be near impossible, for once you say it, it's no longer yours, but shared between the parties it concerns. The danger of the weight with which we trust it. I have been in love before, and seeing how verbal confirmation turns to rot, eroding confidence that love exists, and hardening our hearts against its clout. Though I have done it,
She makes a gesture as though throwing away a key to her heart.
And there it dies.
The lights begin to change back to normal.
Hey, wait, I still have more to say.
Soliloquy floodlight up back on Lucy.
I fear if I don't say it, things will wink. It's getting to that point where those 3 words are all that would prolong this anyway. For otherwise, my mind will start to drift for reasons for my being here at all. Where's that chase? That old romantic thing of never knowing what is coming next. I'll even take the beast if he'll provide that thrill of loss as here we built our nest. He hasn't been here since first I slept. Well, I can only hope that he'll be back. Perhaps the beast since heaven will revive the cause for lovers to remain joined.
Lights return to normal.
What are you waiting for? Put on your hat.
Blackout. Act 3. Setting, the same place. It is another long while later. Lights up. Lucy and Sandman are seated at a dinner table across from one another. Each has a plate of meat in front of them. Lucy cuts herself a bite and begins to chew.
So how's the game?
Delicious. Thanks.
Lucy is really enjoying the meat.
I hunted it myself.
You did?
Quite bravely. And caught it in that tiny net of mine. Despite its size, it yet succumbed to mesh and fell, proffering flesh for our good health.
Was there cheese?
Oh, yes.
But then you won.
I overtook the beast.
And killed him too.
Lucy is really enjoying the meat. She is coming to a frenzy as she eats.
Describe his features.
Grisly, horned, and great. With fingers webbed together, furry mane, which shook no small fury as he ran, at times attempting to reverse the chase, but then accepting his due role as prey, and I, the predator, with pointed spear, did enter in the fray and...
Lucy's frenzy has turned to terror. She stops eating.
No.
What's wrong?
You killed him.
Yes?
The very beast.
You mean...
You killed the monster that pursues me.
Ha! All the better, Lucy, now you're free. Now we can live in peace.
Oh, how wrong you are. That beast was my last source of ecstasy.
Beg pardon?
For the thrill of being chased. That thrill is what propelled me through this place, and now I'm at a standstill.
What, just now? You call the time we spent together still?
Lucy looks at him helplessly. The Sandman angrily takes the 2 plates and hoists them over his head.
It's fine. I wasn't hungry anyway.
You say life lacks thrill, I've raised the stakes.
Don't be an ass.
I'm just girding these loins for the impending confrontation which is soon to follow, knowing your routine.
Is it my fault if I cannot repress these feelings of dissatisfaction? I acknowledge how you ease the tedium, how your arms can offer comfort, but there comes a time when comfort's not enough and truth prevails over ease of ignorance.
So now I'm ignorant?
Don't change the subject.
The subject is, it seems, my impotence concerning the capacity to please.
No, as a lover.
Please, enough! I mean enough that you don't yearn for something more.
This has nothing to do with you.
And all?
Oh, why must everything be yours to bear? It's not enough that I might have a dire crisis without you etching in the clouds. Oh, me! We'll have our problems to sort out in time. Regarding lack of thrill, that's not you. Well, yes, perhaps it is, but just the same as waking life, love is but part and parcel of life's great circus, seeing the bigger picture.
Ah, forgive me, I don't mean to be obtuse. Enlighten me as to the subtle nature of this big picture.
Well, you're right on that. You are obtuse.
And will continue thus until your explanation is acute.
You know well why.
Refresh my memory.
I'm dying.
So am I.
But not as past.
Why must everything be yours to bear?
Not fair.
That's right, life isn't fair, and news just in, I may be somehow stuck in this dream space, proprietor of which remains unknown, until you arrived, was not a dream, but something real as far as I believed. But I still feel the tug of my life's thread, beneath the scissors threatening to cut. I too know what it means to view the end. You needn't treat me like some foolish child.
You have your faith to keep you warm at night. And it's not yet too late for me to see the light, but I cannot rely on God or any higher power to ensure my imminent salvation should I be most pious to his heavenly decree. You have the upper hand.
That's what you think? You truly fear inferior to me? When you're the one of whom I'm envious. For you believe in fate and destiny. You rise above the common path of most, who when they search for purpose in their lives do not so seek it for themselves, but for his grace. They seek to understand the God's intent, instead of finding meaning that suits them. But you know what it means to live for life itself and not to be a slave to the idea of what might follow afterwards.
Okay. I'm sorry that I said you were obtuse.
And while we're talking of geometry, This love affair feels quite triangular, and I'm not sure I want to share.
How so?
It seems death and myself share custody of your affection.
How's that, might I ask?
We have no privacy. At night he looms in corners of our intimate estate, and during daytime all you want to do is talk about him. I begin to wonder if this embrace is something that you fear, or one for which you yearn for clandestine.
How can you say such things?
I don't mean that you want to die, I just begin to feel as though you're using death as that great meaning which propels your every move. It's death that makes the thrill. It's he who chases, kicking at your heels.
Lucy is reckoning. She slowly begins to speak, filled with wonder.
Oh, not obtuse at all. But if the monster's true form was death, and for our meal you slew that horned beast, could this then mean you've saved me from decay?
The only way to know is if you sneeze.
I can't.
Why not?
I'm just not ready.
Why?
A fortune teller offers you the chance to look inside her crystal ball and see how you will die. So what do you decide? To look and know the moment of your end, or not? To walk away and live your life? Note this. The look does not affect the end. It neither lengthens nor curtails your thread. The only difference is your knowledge of the curvature of your road to the dead.
But in your case, to wake might change your fate. For doesn't waking indicate some help? You said before the experts
Tried their best.
So you
knew this was coming all along? Yes. I knew that eventually I'd fall into this coma. Waking's an extension, by no means an exemption. I am sick. Now answer my last question. Crystal ball.
Then I choose the second.
But what if it's better to find out what lies ahead, despite the risk it might not be so nice?
Truth shouldn't rule you, Lucy. You are sovereign. I won't pretend my motives are so righteous. I know that if you wake, I lose you too. At least if you stay here, we're lost together.
I'm not fond of procrastination. But I do suppose that now I'm in no rush considering I'm dying either way. I feel I've been asleep for long enough that ties of conscious life begin to fray. But to forsake reality for a dream? What does it mean?
It means you have to go. It means you have a choice.
Not in the aspect of my life I wish I did.
Lights dim. Soliloquy floodlight upon Lucy.
How to choose? I'll make a list. 1. Sneeze and see if I wake. The pros of this. I may well wake. The cons. If I don't wake, I know I'm really not. And everyone will watch the rise and fall of my small abdomen until it stops, and then they'll all go home, and
She stops herself.
Choice 2. Don't sneeze and stay here with the man I'm
Realizing.
Wait. If I'm reduced to this, perhaps that's it. No beast remains to throw me in. My conscious life is bound to finish soon. This is the remedy. Declare my love. That utterance which I so feared before is all that's left of meaning in this place. Despite the fact I'm living in a fiction, and I could swear he's only in my mind. He demonstrates integrity beyond compare to that of any other soul I've ever chanced upon in other dreams. Did I not say so? He has one too. Perhaps there's more to this place after all. I know if I don't tell him that I love him, I'll never find out what he means to me. Not only as a lover, but a key to something I had not seen previously.
Lights return to normal.
That earlier thing he said's been on my mind.
What thing?
Lucy did not intend Sandman to hear that last utterance. She is about to lie or change the subject, but instead pauses, steels herself, and tells the truth.
You asked. Your dream or mine?
Well, I should hope we both desired each other. Or say you did to boost my self-esteem.
No, I'm referring to the literal question. We talk and talk of dreams and of free will. Whose dream is this? I thought that it was mine when first I found myself in that same chase from which I often wait for the catch. But if this will of which you speak has truth, and you possess that seemingly human stuff, then whom I claim you're my mirage.
A gulf of silence separates them.
You thought of me till now as a mirage?
Well, I suppose I didn't mean to.
Ouch. Excuse me while I check that I exist.
talk to
In my experience, I must admit, it's difficult to care for a mirage.
Instead, see it like this. Not an illusion, but yes, intangible. I was content to hold you all the same. In all this mess, amidst them searching for some meaning, you were the thing that meant enough to me. Enough. Content.
No, you are not content. If I recall correctly, let me see. This intimacy feels forced and out of place. There comes a time when comfort's not enough.
But now it is. I'm happy.
Clearly not. You know I've stood by you and held you close, assuring you there wasn't cause for fear. And yet I find myself unafraid that should you wake, I'll simply vanish.
Please. I know I'm doing terribly. I'm not the best translator.
I'm not sure it's me with whom you should seek out communication. The dialogue should be with your subconscious. Make sure to reprimand him, he's been bad, of conjuring illusions of true love. But then it's not so reprehensible, for they say love's the only true distraction.
Please, don't.
From death.
You needn't be so cruel. There's proof you're not a product of my mind. I haven't the self-loathing to inflict such malice on myself. And here I was just wondering to tell you that I loved you. Isn't that what love is anyway? To throw yourself so fully to another that you could not care less if you exist as long as you exist still in their eyes. You have slipped the tongue and cited this complete negation of all that we've shared.
We haven't shared a thing. To share means two or more, but it means more than two eyes shut. Inventing pictures 8-ish hours a night. But that's what you say you saw me to be, so that's all I feel I was to you. Is it unclear how existentially disturbing that might be to one's own psyche?
Since when can your great ego be disturbed?
I listen to you, yes, I take things in. Albeit, I'm ashamed to say it now. Yes, you got through to me, so sue me, Lucy. And now I find myself with this new brain. I'm asking questions that I've never asked. I'm all mixed up.
I won't apologize for that. Regardless of my doubts, I swear our conversation's dealt with solid matter. It matters. Ones that matter to me now perhaps much more than ever did before. And speaking of apologies, I'll wait for one in answer to your quip on death.
You know I didn't mean it to come out in that way, but it's true. Sooner or later, you'll have to answer its beck and call. And whether what you're facing is the end or not should not be slave to. This. They say we are such stuff as dreams are made on. Well, I say dreams are the stuff made by us. I'll let you win the one on destiny. I won't discount the possibility that there are lessons we are meant to learn in certain order and that there's truth to what we think of when we go to sleep. A truth that has more pertinence to life than most would dare to search for or accept. No points deducted there, but have some faith. It needn't be of such religious kind. Just trust that if your purpose does exist, it's right there in your waking life to find.
And if, as you suggested, purpose fails and all I'm left with is my eyes open, no magic, just my feet on solid ground, what then?
I don't know. It's worth a try.
Lucy nods. They hold each other and kiss, but it's more of a goodbye than anything else.
I'm sorry I broke up with you.
Oh gosh. You make me feel so young with terms like that.
Lucy turns away. When she turns back, she is holding a poppy.
Now try again.
Lucy turns away again. When she turns back, she is holding a periwinkle.
That's better.
And I did. I loved you.
That great G makes quite the thud. As far as endings go, at least it's firm.
Real. Tangible.
Forget it, Lucy.
I won't forget you where I go from here. It's...
Maybe nowhere. Maybe somewhere too.
I'll take what I can get. What will you do?
That depends on if I'm real or not. I don't mean that maliciously at all, just practically.
Are you at all afraid?
No more or less than you.
I might be fiction too. Me in your head.
Oh yes, you got inside my head all right. But I think it's unlikely I'm just here. I don't remember what it means to wake. Perhaps I really am a dreaming beetle. And that's why I have no sense of my form.
Sandman takes a minute to look around.
Well, I should go. As lovely as this is, I feel this newfound urgency to wake or not to wake at all. In either case, to search for meaning in another place. I oversee my welcoming advice.
Not taking her eyes off of him, Lucy reaches into her pocket and pulls out a dandelion. She holds it out to Sandman, who gently blows all of the spores into her face. Her nose begins to screw up. She looks as if she's about to sneeze. She inhales sharply. The Sandman looks up, smiling broadly. Blackout. End of